Today I'm going to show you how to make chicken spaghetti for two. I'm also going to show you a low-carb version if you want to stick around to the end of the video. It might be helpful. Here we go. So to start for this chicken spaghetti for two, I'm going to start with a roux. Hey, that rhymes. So 2.5 tablespoons of melted butter, 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and I'm going to cook and mix that together. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of chicken bouillon powder, maybe 1/3 of a teaspoon went in. Give that a mix. Now I'm going to add some milk. I'm going to start with 3/4 of a cup. In all, I'm going to use 1 cup of milk. Okay, I'm going to season with some celery salt, some onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper. Just give that a mix. You can see it's thickened already, so now what I'm going to do is add the rest of that milk. And you can use 2%, which is what this is, or whole milk. It all works. Give that a mix, and that is the sauce for this, or the base. You'll want to taste everything for seasoning and salt. I'm also going to add a 1/2 cup of sour cream and some shredded Colby Jack and cheddar cheese. I'm adding a handful into the sauce along with that sour cream, and I'm just going to give that a mix off the heat. Once everything is combined and mixed, I'm going to set aside until I need it. But I also like to add a little bit of dehydrated minced onion. You can skip that, it's optional. Just give that a mix, and this is ready for my casserole. Okay, on to the pasta. Here I'm adding like 1/4 teaspoon to a 1/2 teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder into boiling water. You could add salt. Here I'm going to add spaghetti pasta. This is 8 ounces. I did not break this in half. The store sells it like that, so I went for it. I had a box of it in my pantry. So I'm just going to give that a mix, bring it back up to a boil, and I'm going to let it boil for about 9 minutes. You can cook the pasta to your preferred doneness. I'm going for 9 minutes. Okay, so I have 1/2 of a rotisserie chicken that I shredded. I'll be using that. And now my pasta is ready. I'm going to drain it, but first I'm going to reserve some of that pasta water. I will be adding it into the cheese sauce or the cream sauce just to make things creamier. So I'm pouring this into my drained pasta because it's time to put this chicken spaghetti together. Okay, so I'm going to add all of that shredded chicken right into the pot. I'm also going to season with a little more onion powder, garlic, salt, pepper blend, and some smoked paprika. I'm going to add a little bit of that cheese, give that a mix. By the way, in all, I'm using around 6 ounces of shredded cheese. This next ingredient is optional. I love using these fire roasted vegetable mix that I have in my freezer. I'm going for like 1 cup to 1.5 cups. It's going in. It does have Brussels sprouts. I did pick those out, but even if a little bit gets in there, it's veggies for this meal. Okay, now I'm going to combine everything. You'll want to taste everything for salt and seasoning and adjust to your preference. I'm going to pour this into an 8x8 square baking dish. I'm going to top with the rest of my shredded cheese. By the way, you could use the shredded cheese of your choice. I went with sharp cheddar and Colby Jack because that's what I had. And I'm going to just bake this in a preheated oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, uncovered, for about 30 minutes or until everything is just golden brown and bubbly on top. And if you want a melty, gooey casserole, then cover it with aluminum foil and bake. Okay, so this is done. And it smells amazing. My husband and son are going to have this for dinner. They are so excited because it's one of their favorite dinners that I make. And today I added the veggies into the mix. So this is going to be like a 1 plate, 1 bowl dinner for both of them. This serves 2 to 3 people. It's a good portion. Okay, so I am going to show you, look how creamy and decadent this comes out. It's so flavorful. I suggest you give it a try. Okay, so here is my low-carb version. I am using tofu shirataki spaghetti. It's 20 calories, 6 carbs, 4 grams of fiber. Pretty good. So I mixed 3 tablespoons of water with 1/4 teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder. That's going in just to flavor the pasta or the noodles. Here I'm adding some celery salt blend. I'm going to shake in garlic, salt, pepper blend and some onion powder, a little bit of smoked paprika, and now I'm going to add 1/4 cup of heavy cream and mix that up. And that's it. That's going to be basically a lot of the flavor that goes into this. Now I'm going to add around 4 ounces of that rotisserie chicken. I used the chicken breast, and I'm using in all 1.5 ounces of shredded cheese. Just a little bit goes into the mix, and I'm going to combine that well. I'm also adding like a half cup of those frozen veggies. Give that a mix. And this is it. You'll want to taste for seasoning and salt. Here, I'm going to add it into a small baking dish, and I'm going to top with the rest of that shredded cheese. Like I said, it's only 1.5 ounces. And just make sure you try to cover the entire surface area on top. And I'm going to bake this at 400 degrees Fahrenheit until it's melty and bubbly on top. Just like this, look at that. And I actually think this is a very good recipe for those of you looking to eat chicken spaghetti and low carb. It's really good. Okay, so I am going to just carefully put this on my stovetop. For this recipe, there is separation of the liquid cream sauce, the frozen veggies, so it is liquidy at the bottom. So you'll want to let it set for 10 minutes before serving, but I can't wait. So I'm going to dig in, and I'm eating a half portion for dinner today and the rest for lunch tomorrow. It's so good. I'm going to give it a try, but I've made this before, and it hits the spot when you're trying to just stay low carb and you want comfort food. So I hope you give these recipes a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.